Good morning, everybody. I'm so thrilled to see you. It's dark out. Oh my gosh, it's so early out. I'm thrilled you're here. Happy Monday. I'm Rita Hickman. I'm a body mind expert and a shiatsu massage therapist. But what I do is I help women who are in toxic and narcissistic relationships really find their way out. Not by going the mental route of that you're broken and you need to be fixed, not by going the bypass route where you just think happy thoughts and you never have any feelings. And not just dealing with the symptoms, the IBS or the migraine headaches or the fibromyalgia. This is all about how we get everything to work together on a higher level. This is actually a higher path that we're on. And it's a path that's based on you becoming whole, on you becoming the person that you're supposed to be. And as a side effect, your relationships change. And as a side effect, the narcissists either fall out of your life or they evolve too, no matter who they are, parents or children or spouses or friends. Things happen. And so instead of the goal being on how to change the narcissist or on how to protect yourself at all costs, we really focus on how do you become that strong, amazing, well rounded, smart, balanced woman that you already are, that just needs to be nurtured and given a safe space to be themselves and to learn the lessons that life comes to bring us. So today we're talking about what a narcissist won't tell you. So many times, women who are more empathic, compassionate, sensitive, we're really drawn to these big, bright, charismatic lights. We're really drawn to people who have the ability to be higher and more intense and more amazing and mind blowing than you've ever seen before. They're a little bit more on that drama, beauty, you complete me, all those romantic movies, Love Actually, and, all of that stuff. They actually think on that level. Many narcissists, especially if they deal with borderline personality, then they've got that intensity, they got that high. But that it's interesting. Most women will talk about a Jekyll and a Hyde effect, where there'll be this kind, compassionate, loving, thoughtful, intuitive person, which they are. And then something will happen, and they will be the most unkind, cruel, manipulative, insensitive, thoughtless sort of person that's going on. Now, a long time ago, when I used to really be more intense into indigenous medicines, I was really studying that before I segued into Asian medicine. I had an experience with a very spiritual woman who was highly respected. And she says to me, she says, I can always tell when somebody's lying. And I felt for some reason it was just me and her that she was talking to me, that she thought that I was the one who was always lying. And I thought, well, that's weird because in reality, it's not that I was lying, it's that I had multiple sides of who I was. I had the side of me that who I wanted to be, who I knew I could be, that was speaking. And then I had the side of me that was wounded and angry and hurt and betrayed and sad and lonely and isolated and protected. I had both. And you know what? You probably have both too, if not multiples and multiples. And what the narcissist and toxic person doesn't tell you is that they have all those sides as well. So it's easy for us to walk into situations and say, aha, they're a liar. Aha, what they said and what they didn't match up. But you know what? In the mind of a narcissist, in the mind of a toxic person, that is their truth. That is their reality. And they are always themselves. They're just showing themselves to you in different versions in different ways. So if your wounds, are big and you've been dealing with this for decades and you really need to rescue yourself because this person who's in your life has no desire to evolve and have a higher level relationship. If you need to walk away so that you can really move forward, that's what you have to do. And we're here to support you. A narcissist actually won't tell you that there's a part of them because they have all those different sides and parts and pieces, that there's a part of them that has been waiting for you to leave, a part of them that has expected it, which is where some of their behavior and manipulation and sly and lying and all of that has come from, because they've been expecting it. They've been expecting you to walk out for a very long time. And so then they've been using every tactic and trick in the book they know to try to keep control of the situation. And they're not going to tell you that. In fact, many times women have the best conversations when they finally stand up for themselves and say, you know what, I'm not putting up with this anymore, I'm leaving. And that shift in energy that they have, for some reason, opens up that door. It gives the person permission to try to communicate better or communicate differently. And many women, when they set that line, when they say no more, that's when things start to change. Sadly, for a lot of women, they've waited decades to do that. And so by the time they say no more, they really mean no more, no more. That you can't tolerate, you can't deal with, you can't suck up, you can't adapt, you can't adjust. One more second. And many women wait until they get to that point. But you're much better off if you start to address these things earlier. If you start to say no more when there's still some wiggle room. When you have to say no more, sometimes 3 or 4 or 5 times, and each time to demonstrate you mean it. No, this is what I mean. No, this is what I'm saying. No, this is reality. There has to be those scary, hard experiences for someone to recognize that if they truly want a good relationship, that they have to put down those fears and anxieties. And many people who are toxic and narcissistic, they just aren't ready for that yet. They just aren't ready for that. It's not you, it's not anything that you did. It's just that at this point in time, they're not ready to change either. Now, if you do decide to say, there are things that you can do. You have to kind of decide whether you're going to be in for the long haul or not. And if you are, then the first step, just like being in program, is to heal yourself. They're not going to tell you that they want you to be strong. They're not going to tell you that they want you to be um, someone who's healthy and who holds them accountable and who doesn't let them destroy your day and who doesn't let them be the bully that they absolutely feel like being right now. There's those multiple sides. It's like that woman looking at me and saying, I know when people are lying because the energy they give off and the words that they are saying are two different things. You know what? That happens to me all the time. I've been in situations where I'm like, I'm not telling you what I'm thinking because you're dangerous. I'm not telling you what's going on because you're not safe. It has nothing to do with, whether I'm a good person or a bad person. It has to do with this interaction. It has to do with this situation. And so many narcissists won't tell you that there's a dynamic, that when you shift, then it helps them shift. And many of them, if they struggle with mental health issues, they actually want someone to stand up for themselves. They want someone to protect themselves. They don't want to be the bullies that they are. They don't want to be the bad people that they are, but they might not be able to change. I can't tell you how many wonderful situations came out of women who were like, no more. And they walked away, but they walked away with love. And with time, the men that they walked away from were able to have relationships with their kids because there wasn't that demonizing and vilifying and you're evil and this is, you're the most horrible person in the whole entire universe. It's not about that. It's about you healing you. And when you get yourself in a good space, that's the only time and the only way you're really able to change your life. It has nothing to do with the external circumstances, even though if this person would stop and if you would get a break, you might be able to heal. But that's when you have to set your boundaries. That's when you start putting your needs first because you realize that when your needs get met, you actually sit and take care of people. So if you need some help, reach out. We've got a wonderful group of women. If you think there are women that need this message, share it with them because we have to get us on a better path. This has to change. It has to change. The chaos of the world is way too big for us to sit back and let ourselves be minimized and diminished and made small in ways that the world doesn't need us. So I hope you have a great Monday. And I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow morning. I'll talk to you later. Bye.